Very dear and respected audience and my students, this is once again Dr. Ahmed recording a very short video lecture for my YouTube channel and for the benefit of my students. Our today's lecture is about Nora. Whether in 21st century we do have Noras and these Noras exist in the same way as they used to exist in the last century. You know very well this Nora is the character from Ibsen's drama A Doll's House. And it's a very prototype of a feminist character that we need to understand here how it is prototype and how its reflection is available in 21st century. So that is why the title of this video is also Nora in 21st century. We know very well that Ibsen has been a very revolutionary type of dramatist, creating dramas regarding the social and domestic issues, and in this way when we talk of domestic issues, definitely the issue of the woman at home and the treatment with that woman and the struggle of that woman to survive, that all counts, and so it becomes a type of feminism as well. So therefore, in today's video, I'm going to talk about Nora with reference to the agent of change. We know very well in the last century also, in the previous centuries, women were used to be the companions of the people at home. And so they were supposed to perform duties at home as wife. Many religious and social duties have been assigned to them, and it was understood automatically that a woman who is a good woman will be performing these duties without fail. Any lapse in these duties could result into something harsh, and the type of punishment could come to that. But Nora is the woman who took on her number of other things which were not her duties as assigned by the societies, though she herself thought it's the duty. And the most important duty that she took on herself was the duty on her own self. And with this regard, if we look at the character of Nora, we will be able to better understand Nora's character. In the drama, we see that Nora is being loved by her husband, Torvald Hammer. He is all the time calling her pretty names like saying my skylark, my sparrow, or my Twitter, and so many other words which possibly the lovers may be saying to their beloveds. So Nora was a happy woman at home, and she had the children and babies as well, and she used to play with them. She was really very happy woman. But somewhere she was upset also, she was disturbed also, and she was not contented therefore with her life. So that is also to be seen how and in what way she was discontented when her husband was so much loving. Other than one side of the husband, that he has been not so rich in the beginning of the marriage, but with the passage of time he begins to earn more money because he's given promotion in the bank and he's the manager of the bank, and as a result he's got the better money. So Nora is expecting that more money will come to her for spending, for shopping, for her children, and for fulfilling her own desires of making the home beautiful. More money would come, in that way she will be quite easier. And it's not because of the house she wants to maintain, but also she's worried because she did one mistake. We may be calling at this moment one mistake, that she borrowed money from the bank with the help of the clerk Krogstad, and it was very difficult for her to pay back the money, but she was paying by saving money from the kitchen expenses. And Krogstad knew that the money could not be given to a woman, so money could be given only to Torvald or to the father of Nora. Now, Nora's father was dead, and she had to put the signature of the dead father on the form of the bank, and so Krogstad had this knowledge, and ultimately the role of Krogstad becomes very much important in her life. Not only Krogstad is the man in her life, but also Hammer and Dr. Rank. Dr. Rank, as usual, a very honorable character and all the time available for company and for helping and supporting the people and showing what is the good side of a man also. In that way, Dr. Rank is present in the life of Nora as a friend, as a family companion, and as a sympathetic person with them. Krogstad, however, proves to be a man who is not that sympathetic. He is more sympathetic towards himself. So three men in the life of Nora are there, and these three men, only Dr. Rank seems to be a very good person. Otherwise, all other people are taking care of themselves too. So in this way, Nora is living a very happy life and continuously living in that society where women were supposed to be good women when they take care of their family, of their husband, when they remain within the boundaries of the husband and do not demand anything extra other than permitted by the husband. Another woman in the drama is Mrs. Linde. She is also the other side of Nora, because Nora is a domestic woman. On the other hand, Linde is not that domestic. She is ready to do any job also. She's ready to change the husband as well for the sake of money. She's ready to change her circumstances also. And once again, she's come back in the life of Nora in order to get a job possibly offered in the bank of Mr. Hammer. And so that in that way, she seems to be a more practical woman as far as the modern realities are concerned, rather than Nora. So in this way, Nora's character is going on in the drama as if she's a constructed woman. Definitely, she says to her husband again and again that when she was at the home of her father, she was called doll, she was called with pretty names, and she was never given any experience of the word. Similarly, when she was transported towards the house of her husband, the same things happened with her. Once again, it was the idea that she should remain the tweeter, she should remain the pretty doll, and in that way, she was a socially constructed woman. When she was like a doll, then she was expected to behave like a doll as well. And in that way, she couldn't become the real woman as she has to be. So that is the way, as for example, the philosophers and the critics have been saying that Nora is the woman who is likely constructed by the society. She was not really that type of woman. However, in order to prove that she may be really constructed, but she has got her own mind and her own style as well. She made a fault, and that I should not call it a characteristic flaw. I should call it a daring fault, a fault which one does after deliberately thinking what could be the results of that. So for the sake of saving her husband's health, she borrowed money from the bank and didn't tell her husband at all. Being a woman, she did the job of a man. So in that way, this was the type of fault which she daringly did, and as a result, she was suffering from the kind of results and consequences of that as well. Because of this fault, it became very much important in the drama that an awakening took place, an awareness for the sake of her own self-respect. For example, when Krogstad brought the letter in which her mistake was written, she knew that husband would not forgive her. As a result, she was waiting for the moment. In order to reach the climax of the moment, she tried to save her marriage happiness by dancing, by Trentilla dance, by loving her family. But she knew that Torvald would never accept and agree with the idea that she could have done under certain circumstances. He would definitely think ill of her, and as a result, he does think ill of her. And so he declares at a moment when he's discussing with Nora that although he can maintain the marriage, although he will be ready to pay back the loan, but he will consider that the care of his kids should not be handed over to the woman who cheats, or the woman who, for example, does not follow the norms of being a good woman, the woman who dares make a fault like that. He would not trust the care of his children towards her. So that was the moment when Nora's pride was hurt, Nora's self-respect was hurt, and that is why she decided to leave her husband. Now, the husband tried to retain that woman as much as possible, but he should know self-respect and self-duty is more important as compared to any other duties, and that is why she left the home of Mr. Hammer, and Hammer was left alone thinking, how has she done all that? Now, that was the doll converted into a woman, a doll converted into a human being, a doll converted into an individual, as the society of 21st century is demanding now. Now women are more educated, are more responsible, are no more ill aware. They are aware of everything. They know their rights also. They know their duties as well, and they know that they have a standing in the society because of their being a woman, and because of their being an individual of the society, and because of their educated person and able to earn the money as well. So it means that the reflection of Nora, who wanted to cross the boundary of being a good woman of that time and enter into that woman who has got more regard for her respect, proved a prototype, and today's relationing that we are seeing around us, they have also developed in the same way. So in the 21st century, there are lots of Noras. But this is not the question to think right or wrong. It is the construction, the social construction that we would make. In this society, we have been proud of the education of women, and we are thinking very good that they should get the job. And when we do so, ultimately the woman realizes about herself that she is also important. And if she's not given that type of respect, definitely the things will go wrong if the men are not ready to give that type of respect. So in this way, this matter is not easy to decide whether it is right or wrong. From male's perspective, may be wrong, but from female's perspective, it is quite right. The need of the hour is that in 21st century, these realities must be realized, and the Noras of 21st century may be allowed to live like Noras instead of like Twitters or like Skylark or like a doll. So in that way, the feministic point of view, which was propagated by Ibsen in his drama, the Idol's House, and it was promulgated through the character of Nora, is really the proof and the symbolic representation of the radical feminism. So in this way, if the students go forward to write the character of Nora with this change and with relationing it with the 21st century, they can perhaps better make the other people understand what the character of Nora is and why the character of Nora has been designed in that way. So from my side, this much is sufficient. Hope to see you in the next coming short video about any critical theory or about any other subject of being taught to the students. So that's it from me. See you next time. If you like it, if you understand anything, do not fail to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you like, you can comment on the video as well in order to bring further improvement in these videos. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again.